Magandang araw po muli sa inyong lahat. Muli sa ating tipon-tipan sa PIA. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Oliver Tameo Bakay, sa ngalan po ng ating Regional Director, Director Purita S. Dicas. Sa inyo ang ating palatuntunan sa loob ng isang oras na talakayan at balitaktakan dito lamang sa ating palatuntunan. At syempre, kasama pa rin natin ang ating mga batikang mga broadcaster dito sa Cagayan. And of course, ang ating mga bisita ngayon ay mga empleyado at opisyal mula po sa Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Partikular pong pagtutuunan natin ngayong araw na ito ang mga proyekto ng pamahalaan sa ating pong coastal zones o dyan sa gilid po ng ating pong karagatan. Ang Coastal Resource Management at saka yung ICRM project po natin dito po sa ating lalawigan ng Cagayan and of course sa lalawigan din po ng Isabela. So una, bago sa ating mga bisita, bigyan daan natin si kasamang Jene Bakiran upang pakilala sa atin ang ating mga media friends.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at kinagagalak po pakilala sa inyo ang mga kasamahan natin na nagpapahayag po ng mga iba't ibang programa ng pamahalaan. At kasama natin ngayon si Nieves Nicolas ng UNTV at ang kanyang cameraman si Rolando Gaygay at ang Clearview Cable si Felipe Sinigyan. Ang ibang nating mga kasamahan sa radyo ay parating, so makakasama natin sila sa ilang mga sagot.
Yes, thank you very much kasamang Jene. And of course, nag-text yung ating mga kasamahan. Mamaya ay darating sila kasamang Munding, TJ, kasamang Lani Perez, at ang iba pa nating mga kasamahan, kasamang Sandy Azurin ng TCG Apong Buracho Tigrao. And of course, sa technical side, si kasamang Modesto Ferrer, at si kasamang Tony Guyagoy, Alvin De Los Santos. Sa kabila naman sa Radyo ng Bayan, si kasamang Letlet Taliping, at si kasamang sino kayang in charge sa kabila, si kasamang Tami Bunglag, and of course sa RBC, si kasamang Elon at Chavi Tabalanza, at dyan naman sa Clearview, si kasamang Marshall Bakiran at Kenneth Tutao. Sa ating mga bisita, narito po ang Chief ng Coastal Resources Management Division, si Sir Enrique Pasion. And of course, ang atin pong kasamahan mula po sa Isabela, Pedro Isabela, si Forester Arnold Progoso, Forester 3, I guess, sir. And kasama din natin ang manunulat mula po sa Pedro Isabela or DNR, si Sir Raquel Caldes, kasamahan din natin ito. And of course, si Forester Julie Duran ng Pedro Isabela, Forester Marlon Garcia ng Pedro Isabela din, at si Forester Felicitas Gamad, of course, of Pedro Isabela. At mula sa region naman, si kasamang Diana Rose Manangan, nagpalit na siya ng pala ng kanyang apelyedo, dati ko kasing intern si Dayan, and of course si Chris Vincent Rom Kale, okay, ang computer programmer ng DNR Region 2. Unang-una sa ating pong mga bisita ay bigyan daan natin ang ating dalawang head dito, si Sir Eric, sa kanyang pagbati sa ating pong mga tagapanood at tagapakinig, at una siguro ang kanilang programa. Sir Rick.
Thank you. Good morning sa ating mga tagapakinig at sa mga nanonood sa programang ito. Dito kasi sa mga programs coastal, particularly within the coastal zones of Cagayan, Isabela, and Batanes, itong month na ito ay Ocean Month. Talaga, tamang-tama itong ating pagtitipon-tipan. Meron tayong team natin dito ay ang bahura ay kagubatan sa karagatan, ating pangalagaan. Yan ang ating team for 2013. Nagsimula ang Ocean Month celebration noong I think 1999 pa, following yung proclamation number 57, Presidential Proclamation number 57. So starting that year, meron na every year ginagawang Ocean Month. Ang nag-i-spearhead dyan, dalawang ahensya, the DNR and the BIFAR. So there are a lot of activities kung pagdating sa Ocean Month na yan. Like for example, sa aming part ngayon, we started with the environmental youth camp, no? Sa Camiguin. And then meron tayong scuba surero. Ginagamit natin yung ating scuba diving gears to search on the different ways underwater. we coordinate these activities with the BIFAR. And aside from that, may mga trainings tayo na ginagawa, like by tomorrow, we will be conducting yung coastal hazard management training para sa mga local government units, so that they will be aware on the different coastal hazards ng mga nato. Kasi alam niyo naman ngayon, climate change, di ba? So in every planning of our planning, lalo na sa mga LGUs, they need to know on the different threats of hazards that they have. Marami ito, no? And even with the ICRM project, pero ang ICRM project kasi natin ay nakafocus ito sa Cagayan lang, hindi na 12 coastal municipalities, no? Ito sa Babuyan Channel, Santa Praxedes, Santa Ana.
Okay. Sir, siguro mamaya ay isa-isahin natin yung mga programa na inyo pong naihanda para po sa ating Ocean Month. Bigyan daan na natin si Sir Arnold Turgoso sa kanyang pagbati at of course ang mga project po natin sa Isabela, sir.
Maraming salamat sa pag-anyaya sa amin, lalong-lalo kay Regional Director Corita Licas sa pag-interview nyo sa amin. Nagpapasalamat ako sa inyong lahat, lalo-lalo tagapagpanood at saka tagapakinig ng mga mamamayan natin sa lambat ng Cagayan. Dito po kami, para talakayin natin ang celebration ng Ocean Month. Unang-una, natin ko sa inyo, no? Kung ba sa galing sa Coastal Management Project, 0 kung ba, if you will range me from 1 to 10, kasi nasa forestry sector kasi ako, no? From 1 to 10, ang kwan ko lang sa kanon is grade 2 lang. So, if you will ask me later on about forestry activities, then I could answer if I can. But when it comes to about the coastal projects in the province of Isabela, then I can siguro na I can give you a little of information, but not so much as Eric, because yun ang trabaho ko ni Forester Eric Passion.
Yes. Anyway, sir, we will maximize that too. And of course, we will ask question about the forestry projects in Isabela. But anyway, una po muna ay sa ating pong mga kasamahan. Ayan, nagsilantingan na sila. Si kasamang Sandy Azurin and this is GR Bongoradio Tigaraw. And of course, kasamang Mario Polgado. And tama sa ating pong Ocean Month. Unahin ko po yung Environmental Youth Camp. Mukhang may bago sa pandinigo namin yon, ano? At naisagawa pa ito sa Camiguin Island. Ang kaunting background, Sir Eric, paano nyo naisagawa yun? Ilan po ang ating mga kabataan na dumalo or sumali sa ating programa?
Well, ang EYC o yung Environmental Youth Camp, napag-usapan lang namin yan way back last February, together with the partners. We have the Integrated Coastal Regional ICRM Center kasi at Apari for the information of everybody. Now, dito sa center na ito, tinitipon namin yung mga partners natin on the Babuyan Channel condition. So, we think of a way that we could engage the youth on the environmental awareness, but we will have to zero in on the humpback whale, no? At the cats, kasi cats ito sa Babuyan Channel. Ang humpback whale ay makikita mo dito sa Babuyan. Ito yung parang pinaka-charismatic species natin sa ating area. Now, we invited several schools, lalo na itong mga beneficiaries natin, na itong mga partners natin along the Babuyan Channel. Meron tayong youth desk officer, sila ang nag-mobilize and they get in touch with the different schools. And then,
can you name some of the schools?
Ang CSU Gonzaga 1, tapos sa CSU Pari. May participant din tayo galing Batanes. We have a participant also from St. Louis. We have participant coming from the Lyceum of Pari. So, ito yung mga naging participants namin. I think we have total about almost 32.
32 young individuals.
Young individuals.
What are the I guess qualifications? Kailangan ba related sa ocean or related sa environment? Marine environment.
Yes, may nag-set ang yung desk officer namin for those who are really active in the conservation and development of the environment. So, yung concern na yun, pinasa naman namin ito sa mga principals and all. So, they were the one to suggest kung sino yung mag-a-attend na. But that activity will be a continuing, kasi nakita namin yung importance niya. Magandang pa nito eh. Naging magandang simulain eh. Itong mga youth na ito, they will be the leaders of the next generation. And I think it's high time to incorporate all the knowledge and not for those just autocrat sa gobyerno o sa mga kwan o sa sakala lang nila malalaman yung mga ganyang concern pagdating nila ng kolehiyo. Ito ay estudyante sa kwan sa college and high school. So at this very stage, at this very start ng kanilang career, makikita nila kung ano. So ganun nagsimula. So sabi ni Vice Mayor ng Calayan, that time si Vice Mayor June Guzman, sabi niya, why don't we organize a youth camp at Camiguin doon mismo sa site, no? Hindi pupunta sa isang school, no? You assemble all these students in a place that is very remote, very
Yes,
far from their places, and so this is where we can inculcate for them yung mga conservation activities, particularly on the conservation of the hampak. So doon nangyari yun.
Yes, oo. Follow up siguro mula sa ating mga kasamahan on the youth camp. Kung wala pa, wala pa. Okay, ako muna. Kasi medyo interesado ako dun sa youth camp. So ano yung mga activities nila doon? Doon sa humpback whale, ano po ang ginawa nila? Just to watch, study, kung ano yung characteristics po nila?
It's 4 days or almost 5 days activities. Very hectic. We got some laboratory activities, marine laboratory activities during the day. And during the night, we have some lectures up to 10 o'clock. Ang ginagawa nila nung una, intro muna, no? Web of life, basic ecological concept. And then after that, we introduce them how to conduct snorkeling in the coral reef area. And then at the second day, we teach them how to monitor yung ating hampak, how to detect hampak within the Ubuyan Channel. So nagkaroon ng groupings, no? Group 1, Group 2. And then yung Group 1, snorkeling muna. And then the other group, hampak watching. Pero mga gadgets kasi na ginagamit. Like the one, yung spotting scope, meron yung pag-record ng sound. Kasi yung mga mammals na ito, they emit sound.
Yes.
Tapos ito yung way of communication nila. Just like us, we emit sound. So that's one way of communication. So, tinutukoy ko paano mag-identify.
Kung meron nga.
Kung meron
sir.
siya, okay.
Ano sir, meron po kayong na-detect?
Yes, of course.
Within the 4 days?
Yes, so sila mismo makikita ng mga nag-blitz, so,
Ano ang pinaka-objective po ninyo, sir? Of course, kailangan natin i-study yung characteristics nila dahil ba sa gusto natin i-develop ang area as one of the tourist destinations in Cagayan.
That's one way to tickle the minds of the youngs. Even dito siguro sa atin, no? Baka 50 or 60% sa atin na hindi alam na may hampak whale tayo dito sa Ubuyan Channel. And yet, we are unaware na nandun ang mga malalaking isda na to, malalaking whales na ito, creatures na to, and yet we are not aware of our activities. Yun ang pinupan namin. Doing this kind of activities is to tickle the mind of the youth. That's one. Hindi ka agad na, gagawin natin ito because we want to develop an ecotourism. No. We just want to open the door for a more broader developmental activities that would be enhanced ng conservation ng area.
Yes, kasamang JR.
Sir, dyan sa...
In that days, may mga shifting kasi because of the guides at saka mga availability ng bangka at saka expert na kasama pala natin dito is yung Balyena.org, no? And that Balyena.org is an organization dedicated for the research undertakings of the hampak whale. all over the country and all over the world. No? Yung iba na walang ginagawa, ang kinoordinate natin yan sa mga local government units at saka yung mga DNR na nasa-assign sa area. And we devoted, I think it's half hectare na tinaniman ng mangrove sa malapit sa Camiguin. Ako mismo, hindi ko napintahan yung site kung saan sila nagtanim, but we have some people who manages to supervise yung galing din sa forestry, si Forester Manina. Siyang may mga activities na.
Si kasamang Benji and then si kasamang
Because once na nawala na yung local leadership, then another come in, then may possibility na mawawala. But then ang regional line agencies like DNR, hindi yan nawawala. So ano naman yung mga safeguards natin, yung sustainability efforts na gagawin natin para tuloy-tuloy po yan? At hindi magiging flash in the can na project lang.
Well, that's my way now to introduce the 2 programs of the DNR up to 2020. Ito yung nasa ating timeline. We have the SCREM acronym, the Sustainable Coral Reef Ecosystem Management Program, SCREM, parang ice cream, SCREM. And then the other is the National ICM Program. This is the National Integrated Coastal Management Program. Nakapaloob dito kung paano i-manage yung ating mga coastal resources in the next practically 6 to 15 years. So sa program na ito, actually this was nag-emanate ng ganyang klase ng programa when the Senator Legarda asked the DNR people, ano bang ginagawa niyo sa coral reef? So, si DNR hindi makasagot. Ano nga ba pala ginagawa ng DNR sa coral reef? So, they coined a program just like the NGP of the forestry, the National Greening Program, for the coastal. No? Now, along this program, dito na nakapalob sir yung mga different activities to sustain what we have started for this kind of activities. Pati ang Balyena.org. Ang Balyena.org is, they work on volunteerism. They use the media, the internet, to solicit volunteers on the assessment, on the IEC, on this kind of activities. So, every summer yan, nagde-deploy ng mga tao. Pero kung titignan mo yung mga composition, mga volunteers lahat, no? Galing ng academe, galing ng media, galing ng abroad. So, ang nagiging lang namin dito, itong mga volunteers na ito, they spend their own money just to join with the research. And I think, pati si Dr. Jones, I think this is a good start. Sabi ko nga, kahit minimal yung support galing sa national, basta there is a way for you to initiate things, para catalyze things, and it will work. Now, kung may magandang funding galing sa katulad nito, we have this SCREM and the ICMP, the National ICM Program, then we could have a partnership. Even the local government units, sir, no? They are willing to ang akala natin noon, walang pera ang LGU, but kung titignan mo, ang dami pala. And sometimes, they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to allocate these things for the environment. So, dito naman papasok si National ICM Program ngayon. We help them out to plan what to do in their coastal areas. So, allocation of resources lang yan eh. Yung 200 to 300,000 per year, that would be a very, very big amount, no? To start working with the environment.
Camiguin is within what municipality?
Municipality of Calayan.
Going back po sa Hambak Whale, bakit po Hambak Whale, sir? Ano po yung naitutulong nito sa environment natin at bakit po yun yung pinatutulong?
Just like the Philippine eagle, ito yung predator, ito yung pinakamalaki. The presence and absence of that whale will determine how healthy is the environment. Yun ang natin. Kung wala yung mga yan, ibig sabihin, kung nandyan pa sila, you could ascertain that there are also fishes in that area. There are food. That is like yung tao, no? Hindi nandyan yung tao kung wala siyang interest like the food. So, ibig sabihin, nandyan si Hambak because of the presence of the food. And in fact, that area is the spawning ground. Diyan din sila nanganganak.
Yes.
So, they feel secure, no? They feel secure. Kung nandyan sila, okay ang ating coastal. Pag wala na sila, that's the time that we have to think that our food security in terms of dishes will also be good.
Okay. Next, kasama mo.
Kanina ko pa kinupan yung coastal management. Sir, pakiritin na lang ako kung ano ang talagang definition ng coastal management sa DNR. At pangalawa, itong mga pagkakaiba ng coastal management yung dito sa land management ito lang ng pagtatanim ng mga plants and ng mga trees. At saka sino itong mga, whether they are NGOs or not, na nagbo-volunteer, are they have to experience in their volunteerism tungkol sa coastal lines o kaya anak sila ng mismo ng fisherman para sila may kukontribute nila sa inyo yung kanilang research.
Sagutin ko muna yung coastal management, ICM. Actually, tinawag yan na Integrated Coastal Management, ICM. Integrated, why? Because we want to integrate the management from the upland. Ito yung tinatawag nating reeds to reef, from the reeds, the top of the mountain up to the reef. So, hindi natin maikakaila na from the reeds up to reef ay different management style yan. Merong rehabilitation, merong utilization, may development and all. Now, in the perspective of the coastal management, ICM, ang nakita ko nga sa paradigm na ito, it's more on managing people, behavior of people within the coastal. The resources will just stay there, but how to influence the people living within the coastal, it's something that is very, very, yun yung focus. So nung nag-uusap kami on like for example, the type of management, ecosystem-based management, coastal management, fisheries-based management and all, we come to a point that, no, pag-tao lang palang pag-uusapan natin dito. How to regulate the undertakings of the different perspective, that kind of situation, like, di ba, meron kayong resources, the mangrove. Mangrove will stay there, the mangrove. But there are people who want that mangrove to be converted into fish pond. There are also people na gusto nila may convert yan into ecotourism, di ba? So, in a way, sabi ko, kahit hindi mo pakialaman yung coastal resources na yan, basta you have to influence because, almost 70% of the population lives within the coastal zone. Nandyan yung bulk ng population natin. Ang statistics nga natin ngayon sabi ko nga nung sa national, the poorest of the poor lies in the coastal zone, unlike before, na the poorest of the poor are in the upland. Hindi na ngayon, nasa coastal zone. So, all these things, from the health, from the population, up to the management, it has to be integrated. It has to be, pati nga yung hazard Now, yung coastal management, sabi ko, at the end of the day, it's managing people. Managing people.
Short, doon sa second pala sir, doon sa experience daw ng ating mga volunteers.
Yes. Kita ko yung mga volunteers natin, mga sources.
Okay.
Yes, they came from different several masyadong mga high-tech, mga $14 ba?
Okay.
Coming from the rich people.
Can't afford.
Yes, and
No wonder, nakarating sila ng Paligid.
of course.
Kasi hinihira ang
And
karating dyan.
mga apelyido nila mga 3 lang, 3 lang ang
Okay.
So, pero they are very knowledgeable, not just with the dialect, but also with the ways they want to do sa conservation. And they set examples. Can you imagine may isang bisita ka sa isang island that will set up a coastal cleanup? They will clean up all yung ating non-biodegradable sa yung pag-alis nila.
So shortly, before we shift to the forestry of Isabela, gusto ko lang malaman sir, doon sa inyo pong pag-detect, ano po ang characteristics ng ating pong mga humpback whale in terms of seasonal ba sila or andun lang po ba sila?
Highly
Any
migratory.
time of the year po ba may makikita tayo doon?
Highly migratory sila.
Oh,
So they migrate,
okay.
they search food, no? And they can reach up to the North Pole. So kung makikita mo sila, pupunta lang sila dito as spawning. Sabi ko, spawning ground.
Oo.
No? So dito sila mga
Have you established anong months na po yun?
Itong pan natin, nagsisimula ang aming survey February, March, April, and kami ng April normally. May halos wala na sila. Babalik na yan mga yan. Unless na talagang gusto nila totally mag-check-in talaga dito.
So summertime.
Summertime,
Most probably
yes.
summertime.
Summertime.
They migrate na after that.
After that.
Mainit na.
Mainit na. Okay.
Init
So
na.
merong kumbaga parang meron ding dahilan yung pong temperature ng ating pong
Yes.
kaya nag-migrate sila sa malamig na lugar. Okay,
Last question.
okay, sige, shortly, para just to give justice to the presence of Pedro Isabella here.
Sir, balita po namin na extend po ang ICRP hanggang December. So, why sir, were there projects na hindi po na-implement or nire-reach po nyo yung mga dapat pa pang ma-reach ng mga postal dwellers po?
Sir, bago po ninyo sagutin, we will just welcome the two companions dear, ang ating mga Vatican.
Tama yun. There are deliverables of the project that were not achieved based on the milestone. Second, there are still existing funds to be utilized. At with the missions that EDB conducted on several occasions, they feel that some of these activities have to be continued because of the positive impact, lalo na sa coastal right. For one, ecotourism. We have started awarding several ecotourism, maliliit lang na amount to tawag namin SRGs, self-reliant groups. Now, if the project will end practically this June, paano nila yung kita kung tama o pa? Ka-award lang natin.